It's been a wonderful experience to be a part of that, and then going forward in time to our discovery of the new Dead Sea Scroll Cave 12 in Qumran, Israel, back in 2017. Um, that made the front cover of National Geographic in December 2018 issue. So I've been intrigued with biblical archaeology. That's why I decided to go back and study biblical archaeology, because there's a lot of empirical evidence, even outside the scope of the Bible, outside the biblical land of the nation of Israel, that has confirmed people, plates, dates, and times, events in the Old Testament and in the New Testament. And we see this throughout other countries like Iraq, Iran, that's ancient Persia, ancient Babylon, and today modern day Turkey, or as they're pronouncing it now, Turkey, which is biblical Asia Minor. And so we see a lot of evidence coming out that has confirmed the biblical record, and it's confirmed, like I said, people, plates, names, events. And so this is very important because it has confirmed all these things, not everything, but a lot. And major finds have happened, like the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Pool of Siloam, the Dead Sea Scrolls, others that even now things are coming to light still and will continue. But Göbekli Tepe is right in this region of the ancient plains of Haran. And this is where we see Abraham lived with his father Terah and his family. So this is all back in that time, which is biblical Edessa.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we had a great conversation a few weeks ago that ties into this beautifully with Andrew Jones. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Andrew or not.
Yeah, I know Andrew, sure.
Yeah, Andrew's a great dude. And he's obviously given tours in a lot of this area, but you hit on some things inside of that, even kind of sharing your history. And thank you for sharing that, just so everybody kind of knows your history and we know your history a little bit better. But yeah, Turkey is such the linchpin to where we re-began as a people, right? Everything from the re-beginning, rebirth, if you will, after the ark, all began here. But I think, this is where we're going to dive in more today into Göbekli Tepe, because the distance between Göbekli Tepe in the grand scheme, and with that Karen Tepe, because Karen Tepe is what? How far away? Maybe 30 minutes? 40 minutes?
Karahan Tepe is not too far from Göbekli Tepe. I don't know in distance actually, but it's pretty close. It's a neighboring site to Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, and then, Ararat, traditional Ararat, or the Drup in our site, is north, through the mountains, basically. So you can see that all this geographically is located in a pretty, closely to each other. And, one of the things that you had said that I had written down that I want to kind of dive into is comparing the ages. Because when modern archaeology looks at the age of this site, and I'm trying to remember from watching like ancient Apocalypse, they want to say this site is what, 11,000, 12,000 years? That's what they're thinking that it is from their perspective?
Yeah, the conventional dating is 9600 BC, which puts it at roughly 10,000 years ago, or 12,000 BC. So that would be about right. That's the conventional dating for Göbekli Tepe.
Yeah, and obviously biblically we would have some issues with that, which I'm sure you guys probably bring up in the book, right?
Yeah, in the book, I created a chronology chart. So where would you put Göbekli Tepe on the biblical timeline? So I used two timelines. One, I used the Masoretic text timeline, and I used the Septuagint timeline. And so I started that just visually for me to kind of keep track of where things were. And this timeline, man, took months of research to dig into and just try to. That was like 3-4 months alone, just putting all that together, maybe more, just trying to get the chronologies right. Now, I'm not saying it's all exactly right and it's all nailed down,
sure.
But it's pretty close in regards to both timelines. So yes,
what did you come up with there for a number?
Well,